I'd like to introduce my coworker and friend Bettina, who is a museum educator here at the Ludwig Museum of Contemporary Art.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about the Smaller Words diorama in Contemporary Art exhibition. We are in the exhibition space. So maybe you are familiar with the diorama genre from the American Museum of Natural History, because that's also like a venue of the film. Which film?
Night at the Museum.
Night at the Museum.
When the dioramas come to life.
Yeah, those come to life, and basically that's the diorama that we are familiar with, like these big environments or like built-in spaces with stuffed animals and like plants, fake plants, basically. But in the 19th century or like the beginning of the 20th century, it was a bizarre spectacle. That's what you call it, I guess. So these peep holes that you might know. So those small box things with a hole in it, and then you can like look into a different world or something, and that's nice because it combined painting, also theater in a way, and optical illusions. And also, if you think about theater, that's also like a box format where one side is missing, and then you can look into a different place, universe, scene, something. So yeah, that's kind of the concept of dioramas, that from a different world you can look into something else. But as a contemporary genre, it's very nice, this exhibition, because there's so many different techniques, small sculptures, installations, video works, also this installation, and VR, virtual reality as well. But yeah, the exhibition has 5 categories, and we are now in the dollhouse one, which is very nice because the concept behind that is also that you are from a bigger giant perspective, you can look into something, but also this is a tool in child psychology, and children can mimic different conversations, situations, or like they can process different traumas through this. So you can, from this big perspective, you can see the world kind of a bit more manageable and approachable, and like it's not that scary. For example, this work.
Yeah, so let's talk about this work. Since we're here in front of it, let's talk about it for a moment.
This is an installation by Tracy Snelling, and we also have another piece in a different space in the exhibition, and this is actually a real building somewhere. I don't know from there, but I hope you can see that there are small screens, pictures, and some of them could be a meme from like our pop culture or like series or something. And this is the concept behind it, is basically how we see the life of different people through social media, and the act is kind of the same, that you look into their lives. If you scroll through social media, then people who share everything about themselves, you are really up to date about their lives, even though maybe you don't want that. So yeah, this is also important to filter the things that you share about your life. But yeah, this is the work.
Yeah, and I think it's so interesting that she put it in house windows, because if we actually looked into each other's windows in our houses, people...
That's not acceptable.
No, that's weird, and we don't like that.
But as a social media user, you actually put everything out into the window of your life. So it's really interesting. I really like this work, and it's also quite impressive. So like smaller kids like it and enjoy looking into the small windows. So that's a dollhouse. Also the same theme with the horror grotesque theme, like category, which is the same concept. We look at something scary from a bigger perspective as a small thing, and it's also manageable to look at your fears or a scary scene or something, and it's also manageable. It's a good word, I guess.
We're giants, and then it's in miniatures.
Yeah, so it's actually funny in a way. Also, there are the peep show things, and it's quite funny. It could be, ironic as well. So it's a good thing. Irony is good if you want to like get over your fears, I guess. So it's nice. So we have these two categories. Also the diorama between art and science, I guess that's the name of that category. That goes back to this Natural History Museum thing. There's the other words, which is like the whole concept of the exhibition, like our pop culture is filled with different stories about the main character goes into another world and lives with that, or like lives with the rules there, and like maybe the behaviors are different of that word, and it's really interesting to think about also that. And when the character comes back to the real world
so they go into the other world, and then they come back and have to readjust to
kind of, and like think
world.
about the differences, and maybe they like that word a bit more, and then come back and just can't really find your place anymore. So that's also interesting in the genre of diorama. And the last one is Wunderkammer, which is the Cabinet of Curiosities. I guess that's how you translate it. And that was before the modern museums, actually, because in those could be cabinets, also like rooms. It depends on like the financial background of the owner, because this was a quite expensive thing to collect different things from the world. So these rooms display the natural treasures, also art pieces, literature in a way, maybe. So they try to depict the world as a whole with all these different things. And this was in the late Renaissance, Baroque era, I guess. So that's also interesting. And nowadays people don't really do this. It was a royal hobby, maybe. And they also had this, mission that they wanted to do this to spread knowledge. And also the dioramas in the natural history museums also. You, as a visitor, go there and see different exotic places, or like Asian places, and that's also knowledge for someone who cannot travel there, or those places don't exist anymore. So it's also very nice. And we don't have these nowadays either. These dioramas in the nature museums don't really do this anymore, because it was also like questionable that showing different groups of people or nations as exotic, and that's kind of questionable nowadays. But also this Wunderkammer thing is not a thing anymore. There were unicorn horns as well, and they thought that, that's really a unicorn, but now we know that those are not.
There was
real.
a whale horn that was truly a unicorn. They thought was a unicorn.
But the concept is very nice, that you want to collect everything and think about the world as a whole. I usually ask the kids as well what they want to put in their own Wunderkammer now in this time, in this world, and they usually just think about electronic gadgets, which are not like that timeless, I guess. And the whole exhibition brings up so many different topics. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.